the Novillos Ranch, deep South Texas. I'm down here this week with Lamar Smith and Alan Rovig. We're after some big old bucks. I've got my McWhorter 7 PRC in hand, and I'm hoping to do some herd management. Maybe, just maybe, find me a big old South Texas buck.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Welcome back, folks. This week our producer Seth Johnson is back at the Novillos Ranch with his brand new McWhorter 7 PRC, ready to do some herd management. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Great Horizon Ranch, Rack 'em Up Roasted Feeds, and Borden Accuracy.
My favorite hunt of the year, every year, bar none, is going to deep South Texas to the Novillos Ranch. This is where it all started. I met one of my best friends in the world here, Lamar Smith, and you know, he's retired now. He's not hunting very much, but we try to get him out. And if I can entice him to join me at the Novillos Ranch, he jumps at the opportunity. Mr. Jackie gave us a call and said, guys, why don't you come before Christmas? We got a lot of management deer that we need to shoot. We jumped at the opportunity. So this week I'm hunting with my McWhorter 7 PRC. This is a new gun for me this season, and it is a tack driver. I love shooting it. It's very, very accurate. It's low developed with a Hornady 175 grain ELDX. It's topped with a Zeiss LRPS3. One of the things that we love doing down here at the ranch is going out and shooting. You know, you always have to shoot before the hunt, but you're not gonna have to twist my arm very hard to go out and burn some gunpowder. I think we got it. What do you think, Lamar? You ready?
I believe it's going to kill a deer.
Let's do it. So this hunt, every year that we look forward to, we're helping out Mr. Jackie. Now this is a private ranch. It's not a commercial ranch. It's by invitation only. And it's still, we're in the heart of big deer country in South Texas, and there are a lot of deer. The deer density here is very, very high. And that means you've got to shoot some deer. So culling is a real thing here in South Texas. I know a lot of places in the country, they think we're crazy, but your culling here means removing mouths from the herd. And what that means is if you don't cull your herd, the deer's body size are going to decrease because there's too many mouths. There's not enough food for them. So with all the protein stations and the food plots, these deer here can thrive, but you've got to reduce the numbers. So Mr. Jackie, this property is on the Texas Parks and Wildlife MLD program, which means the wildlife biologist tells them how many does and how many bucks they have to shoot each year. So what we're looking for is to take out inferior bucks. That means 8-point, 9-point genetics, maybe 10 points with either short fours or just short tines in general. And so the cowboys here have done a lot of scouting before we got here and said, okay, we've got a certain number of deer that we need to remove from the herd. All right, it is time.
How many times do you think you and I walked out that door?
A couple.
Well, first off, we get this out of the way. Happy birthday.
Well, I appreciate it.
I think it's going to be a good day to shoot something.
How many years have we hunted on my birthday together?
How many years has Miss Debbie made you a carrot cake?
Quite a few.
Oh, it's been good. It's always good. Still making memories on this place. We're blessed to be able to do it. What a place to do it on. So
It's like home. It is a perfect morning too.
It is.
45 degrees. See your breath. The rut's kicking.
they're interested in the ladies. Let's go see if we can find one interested in
I'm
Wild
ready.
McWhorter.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So our first morning out, we go to the pipeline blind. Now, I've had a lot of luck here in the past. A few years ago, Russell and I, we shot a tank of a big 8-point that had a bunch of kickers. Deer wind up scoring over 170. Now that's an anomaly. That does not happen every day, I know. But this particular hunt, we're looking for these management type bucks. The morning started a bit slower. Not a whole lot of deer activity. We had a couple of does walked out, really small buck. We're just sitting there watching the sun come up, and out in front of us, long sendero, there's a little rise over the top. Out popped a doe, and then out stepped what looked like an 8-point. And we knew he's at least 3.5 years old. It didn't take long to get that 7 PRC out the window and ready for a shot.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
Birthday buck down. That was fun.
Well, he flopped, didn't he?
Sure did. All right, McWhorter 7 PRC. This is a new gun for me this season. Taking a couple of whitetails with it, and I love it. It's that perfect medium caliber whitetail gun. I love it. Bang flop. There he is. In some parts of the country, they don't understand this word, but the term culling refers to taking out inferior deer on a property that's intensely managed. Right, Lamar?
Yep.
I grew up in the Southeast. I met Lamar down here, 17 years ago, and I had no comprehension about culling and all that has to happen. And now I fully understand, because the deer density on this place is...
Yeah, it's 1 to 9 right now.
Yeah.
So 1 to 9 acres. So we need to get that where it is. To maintain that in the quality, you've got to take these inferior deer out, because we have deer this old that are full 10 and 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obvious when you see them, that's what you want breeding. So, and to be able to make a hunt and make a fun morning, and you're scouting or hunting or whatever you're doing, you can take these deer out and it becomes a hunt that's, you know, the way you used to do it. So.
That's right. 274 yards, bang flop right in the middle of Sendero. Fun morning.
That's it.
Thanks, buddy.
Always good to shake hands over a kill.
That's right. So the next day, we're going to try another blind called the house blind. And I've had a lot of success at this blind in the past. So Mr. Jackie scouted here several times this year, and he saw a nice, pretty 10-point that had short G4s on them, just a chocolate horn, 6 or 7-year-old buck. And he said, I want you guys to go to the house blind. I want you to see if you can find that 10-point. Sun's starting to come up, and there are deer everywhere. I mean, I'm talking 20 deer in each sendero, and this one particular sendero goes all the way out to about 450 yards, and there were deer up and down. And there was one chocolate horn buck that was about 6 years old, right in the middle, back and forth. We were trying to figure out what deer he was. Is that the deer? We settled in and said, we think that's our buck. We're gonna try to shoot him. So I eased the McWhorter 7 PRC out the window, got it set up on my Armageddon bag, ranged him. He was 249 yards, 1.75 minutes, dialed it up on the Zeiss scope. Got it. Got him. Chocolate horn 10-point, baby. Wow. What a pretty buck, too. Looky there. It's a great looking deer. Bang flop. Well, here's our South Texas buck. This morning we set out. Mr. Jackie's hunted this blind yesterday, laid eyes on a 10-point with short fours, and he said, that's a great management buck for you guys to take. And this morning, I was out here with my guide, Rick. We were looking for this deer. Had deer all over us, all in the senderos, in and out, and we just had to figure out which one, and we all decided this was him. 249 yards, finally gave me a broadside shot, and the McWhorter 7 PRC absolutely dropped him in his tracks. Pretty chocolate horn South Texas 10-point. This is what it's all about.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Atlas Development Group, Brooks Barrels, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
So we still had a couple days left in our hunt, and we set out to see if we could find us another big old pretty management buck. All right, guys, getting towards the end of our hunt. We've got just a few more sits left before it's time to head back home, but it's a warmed up day, but it's still, you know, the rut is just kicking right now. So we're gonna go sit. We're gonna go back to the house blind and see if we can't find another big old management buck for the afternoon. So we'll see what happens.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to share a little pro tip we've been using for a few years with you.
All right, so we've talked about this before, and basically you've got yardage turrets and then you've got MOA turrets. And people are always in between just trying to decide whether they want MOA or yardage. Yardage has its benefits. MOA has its benefits for longer shots. We've talked about this in the shooting school, that pretty much out to 500, you know, you can get by with a yardage turret as long as the environmental that you've got it cut for is fairly close. Beyond that, you really need MOA and you need a smart rangefinder to give you the proper dial up. So we decided on a way that we could do both. So this is a Zeiss V6. It's a MOA scope, but what we've done is we've come in here above it and we've taken our fine line permanent silver Sharpie and we've run applied ballistics for a certain environmental so that we can write yardage all the way out to 500 yards. Does that make any sense? And then we write on the top what the environmental is. We could come in above the MOA and laser engrave it, but then you're relegated to just having one set of environmentals. In other words, here in Doe Run, Georgia, it's 350 feet. It's an average of 50 degrees temperature. If I laser engrave that, then that's what I'm gonna always have. And even though out to 500 yards, that's not gonna be terribly off. It's not gonna be precise. So what we do instead of that is we run an applied ballistics program. And if we know we're going to 8,000 feet and it's probably gonna be 40 degrees, we'll run those numbers and we'll take our silver Sharpie and we'll put those above our MOA marks all the way out to 500 yards. So you got both. If you get in a quick rush and you only got your laser rangefinder binoculars and you hit it and it says 400, you turn to 400, because as much as you and I both shoot, I don't always know how many MOA 400 yards is, but I know 400 and a 4 is 400 yards. So we've done our elk hunt at 8,000 feet and 40 degrees. We're coming back to Georgia. What do? I take my trusty brake cleaner, spray it real quick, wipe it off, run my new numbers for 350 feet and maybe 60 degrees, put them back on there with my silver Sharpie, and we're good to go. Just gives you a very versatile system that works for both long and short shots.
Now is your true precision tip of the week, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Alan and Kyle.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Leo Photo USA, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
Last morning, Alan.
Yep. That's kind of sad, isn't it?
I know. I'm still looking for a big pretty 10 point that we saw really quickly. But
right.
One last morning.
You're going to house flying? I'm
going to house
the
flying.
power line.
Well, let's see what happens.
All right, we'll see you in a couple hours.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Man, he's a pretty buck. What do you think? Yeah, that's him. That's him. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. $230 yards. All right. 1.5 minutes.
You got it. Yes! That's it. Whew. The one we're after, baby. Love this gun. Awesome. Awesome. Good shot. This gun. Thank you. Main block, buddy.
Pretty deer. Oh yeah.
What a great morning on the Novillos Ranch, guys. Here with my guy Rick. I don't know how many years, we were talking about it, how many years in a row we've hunted together. Probably
it's been like
8 years or so. And we ended our trip this time with this pretty 10-point South Texas buck here on the Novillos Ranch. You guys have done such a great job of managing over the years, and knowing what you want to take out. We saw some real pretty bucks, some up and comers.
Oh yeah, they're going to be beautiful in a couple of years from now.
Absolutely. And you said this is one we're after. Older buck. How old is he, Rick?
He's got to be at least 6 years old.
At least 6 years old. We saw him for a split second yesterday, and we came back this morning trying to find him specifically. We had to wait for the sun to come up and figure out exactly which deer it was. We laid eyes on him, and just a beautiful buck, older, chocolate horns, typical frame. Thank you to you, and thank you to the Scoggins family and Mr. Jackie for his hospitality and allow us to come down and hunt this private ranch. There's nothing like South Texas, guys, and when you have a McWhirter rifle with you, ooh, makes it even more fun.
Once again, the Novillos Ranch lives up to his name. We've had an incredible week down here with my buddies. Russell, our #1 cameraman and editor, JT, our other cameraman, Alan, the owner of McWhirter Rifles, and of course, one of my best friends in the world, Lamar Smith. And watching him shoot that big old heavy horned buck was just something special. We've had a great hunt, and anytime Mr. Jackie invites us down, we're going to jump at the opportunity. Thank you again to the Scoggins family for having us out. This is truly one of my favorite places on the planet.